Good evening, Tallahassee. We have a lot of active weather to talk about this evening as a severe weather system is set to push through the area tomorrow. But for tonight, it's currently 63 degrees with a slight breeze out of the east. So if you want to go outside and get prepared for this storm system by bringing some loose furniture inside, that might be a good time to do it. We're currently in the low 60s area-wide. We're not going to really cool down all that much because we do have the warm front coming in and the southerly winds coming in ahead of this storm system, which is going to make it warm and humid. Here's the storm system. We already had a destructive tornado in the southeastern suburbs of Houston, Texas today, and overnight tonight you could have strong tornadoes all the way through the Florida Panhandle. But our main stories tonight, we have a winter storm on the move with this going through the upper Midwest, and we're getting our 4th consecutive week of severe weather in the south. So grab an umbrella tomorrow and stay safe on the roads and if you are out and about. But now I'm going to send things over to the desk with Chandler and Caitlin.
Well, thank you for that, Nico. I'm student meteorologist Chandler Pruitt.
I'm student meteorologist Caitlin McKinney.
And Nico teased it up quite well. We have a big, huge severe weather threat here in the deep south that's been ongoing today and will make our show pretty busy this evening.
Yeah, and it's big enough that it's canceling Market Wednesday, which I feel like is unheard of. I love Market Wednesday.
Right. Well, of course, with this severe weather, we've seen, like Nico said, multiple tornadoes, and one in particular caused a crazy story. Caitlin, you saw something about that?
Yeah, so I was doing damage reports, as most meteorology students do, and I was looking at it, and it hit a CrossFit gym in Houston, Texas, so there's 4 people there. Just imagine being stuck in like a severe weather situation at a CrossFit gym.
That would be the most unideal situation. In fact, that's kind of something that you want to fold into your plans for tomorrow because we're going to have some severe weather in store here in the Big Bend region.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it. I've got at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and I think the storms are going to roll in at 8 a.m. Talk about the umbrella and rainbows I'm going to have to be carrying to class.
That's right. Well, to get more on that timing of the system, we'll toss things over to the wall.
So yeah, thank you, Chandler. So right now we're actually looking at Doak, and it's a beautiful, beautiful sunset. We're not seeing those severe storms right now. That's because that's going to be coming probably tomorrow, just like Caitlin said, probably around morning time. Right now it's going to be beautiful time outside, and it's going to be 63 just around sunset, partly cloudy, maybe a little more partly cloudy, but then winds are around 7 miles an hour. We will be seeing those winds pick up throughout the night. Temperature at Alamac, it was just an average day around. Just maybe this morning it was a little bit chilly. I had to bring that jacket today because obviously I'm from Tampa, so I get cold easily. And then for the highs, it's just around average. Luckily, we're not seeing those record lows and highs like we don't want. Current temperatures right now are showing us just around the area, it's just going to be around mid-60s, mid to low 60s, maybe mid-50s in Thomasville. But those temperatures will probably be staying the same throughout the night because we're going to be seeing some moisture. But that dew point right now is just not as cold, not as moist, just maybe 47, but that will be increasing as that cold front gets closer to us. But right now, Tallahassee, beautiful, not a rain in sight for us right now, but that will change as we get along with our day and tonight. You're seeing these lower temperatures throughout Tallahassee is around the same, like I'm saying earlier, those temperatures are going to be staying just around the low 60s in Tallahassee, and even Valdosta is going to be around 61. Tomorrow's highs, though, that's going to be around the same. It's not really changing too much from the lows and highs. That's showing us we're going to have lots of clouds throughout tomorrow because of that rain system moving through. Future radar showing us, well, we see a huge rain band right here. That's the cold front heading towards us. So we're going to have some severe weather impacting our time tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys are prepared for that when you walk to class or even take a bus to class or anything like that, because that will affect your day. And as you said, Market Wednesday is closed tomorrow, so it's not going to really be affecting that. Well, it is affecting that, but still. So we're going to be seeing, it'll be moving most likely through our area as this forecast is showing us around 11 o'clock, but that could change because that's just one model. And then throughout the week, we're going to be seeing, even on Thursday, it's going to be a beautiful time to go outside and everything. And yeah, let's look at the marine forecast. I don't know where you're going to go to the marine forecast when it's going to be 6 to 9 feet of rain, not 6 to 9 feet of rain, 6 to 9 feet of storm surge, not storm surge, of seas, sorry, and 66 degrees there. The FAMU cam showing us a beautiful sunset just like the FSU camera showed, and it's going to be 63 degrees there. Hourly forecast showing us just going to be seeing some rain tomorrow, 66, 100% chance of rain, and then as we get along with our day, that will be changing. But as we look at the rest of our week, though, that will be a beautiful weekend. Maybe on Sunday we're going to be seeing some rain, but just looking forward to that Saturday. Now I'm going to pass things on to Nico.
Thank you, Jason. We're going to look around the state of Florida now, and as you can see, it looks nice this evening. UCF in Orlando, you have some nice weather. If you're out at the beach at St. George Island, you have nice weather today too, and if you're out at the res, you also have nice weather ahead of the storm system, but you do need to stay aware as you go into tomorrow. But currently, area-wide, 61, we're in the 60s pretty much anywhere in Florida north of I-4, except for Jacksonville, which is right on the coast at 58 degrees. You've got a little bit of an easterly breeze there. Pensacola, you've got more clouds, which has kept you a bit colder. Now looking at your dew points are starting to go up as the warm front comes through. It is 47-degree dew point right now in Tallahassee. That dew point is going to go up later tonight, and that's going to fuel severe weather with the humid and warm air mass coming in tomorrow morning. But here's where your storms are at now. You do have some tornado warnings in southwestern Louisiana. Nothing is confirmed to be on the ground at the moment, but I was looking at velocities a minute ago, and you could see that one of them looked like it would produce a tornado at any moment. It was wrapping up pretty tightly. So if you know anyone in southwestern Louisiana or anywhere along the Gulf Coast tonight, you might want to let them know that they need to be weather aware and have their weather radios or cell phones turned on so that they can hear if they get alerts tonight. But as you look at your future radar, by 9 a.m. tomorrow, the storms are just west of Tallahassee. So we're looking at probably 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to have a line of severe storms coming through Tallahassee. This is why Market Wednesday was canceled tomorrow morning. You don't want people out and about during this. But the unfortunate part is people need to go to class. So you may want to prepare ahead of time and try to be there early if they don't cancel class for tomorrow, because you don't want to get struck by lightning or have any tree branches in your face on the way to class. And if you go further east, this line does weaken, but it does make it even further east. So if you know people in the Florida Peninsula, especially north of I-4, they're still going to have a threat of damaging winds and an isolated tornado from this later tomorrow. As we go into Thursday, though, it clears out and it gets much colder. We don't have a cloud in the sky on Thursday, so we're going to have a nice but chilly day on Thursday for anyone who wants to be outside Thursday. But if you know people in Miami, you're not going to get as strong of weather from the front, and you're not really going to get that much of an effect except for your nighttime lows dropping about 10 degrees, so it will be a little bit less humid. Orlando, you will get a more of an effect from this front. It's going to be almost 90 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be 85. This is pretty warm for this time of the year. And Friday morning, though, they're down in the low 40s, so it's going to affect you there. Tampa, you're going to be cooling off as well, and you're going to be in the low 60s and in the low 40s on Friday morning. Jacksonville, you have the severe weather coming in tomorrow evening after pretty warm temperatures, and as you look at tomorrow's highs, you can see where the cold front is in the morning versus where it is in the afternoon. But now I'm going to pass things off to Priscilla.
Thank you, Nico. All right, taking a look at the southeast. We've got our cams here, New Orleans, Blacksburg, Atlanta, and Mexico Beach. We see here in the top two cams, things are looking a little cloudy, pretty muggy, lots of clouds in the sky, even Atlanta, but Blacksburg has some beautiful clouds giving some awesome rays over there. And taking a look at our temperatures, Florida's looking pretty warm currently, a little mild, and then we see it gets cooler as you slowly go further into the southeast, and it is even storming here in Little Rock and Shreveport. But however, things for our temperatures, it's remaining pretty cool. We see 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So there's a pretty wide range. As for our dew points, however, we see a lot more humid in Florida compared to some drier areas in Alabama and Mississippi, but then we've got a lot of moisture coming up into Louisiana. There's lots of storms around there currently. As for our upper level water vapor, we see this low storm system. The low is about here, and we've got cold front conditions with severe storms, lots of water vapor up here. We even see orange. Typically, we don't really see orange too much. And then some drier conditions to the west of the cold front. And as for our wind speeds, we see lots of wind going right up into Louisiana. And that's something we're going to take a look at later in a desk segment about wind and wind warnings. But gusts, wind speed has a high as 24 miles per hour. So it is very windy in Louisiana. If you're in Louisiana, make sure to take precautions, secure any house plants or patio furniture if you have, to make sure to stay safe. Taking a look at our current radar, pretty dry throughout Florida. And then as you move further out west, we see that system that I mentioned earlier. It's bringing lots of severe weather into Louisiana, and it's going to be coming our way very soon. Alexandria, looking pretty cool, upper 40s, storming later in the day. And then next, moving on to Jackson, similar conditions, and it will be storming tonight. So make sure if you're in those cities, as well as Raleigh, you make sure to get home tonight and take a look. 100% rain tomorrow. But then, we've got those cooler conditions the next 2 days, even hitting 30 below freezing on Friday. And for our future radar, again, it's dry throughout Florida currently. It looks like our radar is not, oh, there we go, there it moves, and it slowly pulls into this way to the east, and then we're going to get all that rain in Tallahassee on Wednesday tomorrow, and that's why Market Wednesday was canceled, is our big story of the show. And then the system's slowly going to move out to the ocean, to the Atlantic. Tonight's temperatures, mild. We see it cools down here in Florida. However, looking into tomorrow, it's going to be a lot warmer. We see lots of red temperatures, and it's going to be very warm. Make sure to stay safe. And Chandler's going to give us a little closer bit of a look at that severe weather that we were talking about earlier.
That's right. Thank you for that, Priscilla. So we wanted to take a closer deep dive into the severe weather that is currently set up across the southeast. So we've had 4 straight weeks of severe weather, and right now, as of today, we've had a decent amount of severe weather across the Texas and Louisiana region, and it will continue to press eastward towards Mobile and Pensacola. And the SPC has issued a 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather, including severe thunderstorms, strong tornadoes, and large hail. We're already seeing some of that unfolding currently as we speak, and that will continue to press on throughout the evening and into tomorrow, where we'll have a 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather across the Big Bend region and the East Coast, where we will see damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, and thunderstorms. So, of course, the timing of this system looks like it will be around that 8 to 10 a.m. mark, as the National Weather Service puts it, Wednesday morning and afternoon. So if you are going to class in the morning, definitely try to get there a little bit early, or if it's already passing through, maybe you just have to take a hit on that class and just have to wait it out. But again, for this evening, very late tonight, we'll start to see that severe weather creep into the Panhandle region. And then once we get into Wednesday morning and afternoon, we'll really see the line of strong storms push its way through the Big Bend region, and of course impacting areas all the way into the close to Gainesville. However, it starts to really lift. The severe weather starts to really lift its way upward towards the East Coast by that point. But we're looking at these wind gusts, and again, it's been very gusty today. 47 miles per hour currently in Houston, 34 in Beaumont. That's been kind of the wind gusts that we've seen across the region, and it'll continue to get a little bit more gusty ahead of that front as it continues to push eastward towards Florida. And those dew points, again, ahead of the front, quite moist, as we, which is fueling the supercells and the strong line of storms that we're currently seeing bubble across Louisiana and Mississippi. And the Southeast radar kind of shows this image more in depthly. And of course, all these watches and warnings really indicate how dire the situation kind of is, and we'll continue to see this really press through. But for our severe weather safety, we wanted to just stress that you stay away from windows and go to the lowest floor of a building, and of course use a mattress over your head as a last resort if you live in a place such as an apartment or a dorm room. But stay weather aware tonight and into tomorrow. But now we're going to pass things off to the National because this system's also providing not just severe weather, but snow. Is that right, Caitlin?
Yeah, so the southeast is just looking extremely soggy, but not only is the rain going to affect the southeast, snow is going to affect portions of the northeast with this system. So it's a pretty well-rounded system. Current temperatures across the board, though, right now, looking right on average. We're not anywhere above average or below average. Everywhere is feeling their typical January temperatures right now. And dew points are showing that system. So now right in New Orleans, you've got higher dew points because that's where that severe weather is, where that rain is. But for our friends out west, you guys are always typically drier than us. So it's going to be nice for you guys over there. Nice recovery from that severe weather you guys had a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week you guys were just finishing off that severe weather. So now you've got a little bit of sunshine, which is helpful. And our friends in South Florida, you guys are always muggier than us, and you got dew points higher. Upper level water vapor showing that storm system, all of those high level convective clouds, and those are pulling and building a lot of energy for these storms to develop. And so, but the good news is that there's dry air behind the storms. That's what we can see on this map. That dry air is heading our way, which is going to feel really nice after we get all this bad weather through the southeast today and into tomorrow. And once again, here's that look at that severe weather that's bringing. Look at all those lightning bolts, all that energy being pulled in from the Gulf. But also look at that snow. That snow is going to be affecting portions of the northeast as well too. So that's something that they're going to have to consider. We're going to have to consider rain, but they're going to have to start considering snow. Texas A&M Meteorology Building. So just like EOS here, they've got a meteorology building there, and they had a lot of storms. This was covered in lots of heavy, dense clouds, lots of darkness over the past day as they've been experiencing the storms here. And they're in Texas and in Houston areas, but they're clearing up, which is like good news for us because once the storms pass, we'll have some nice clear skies. Here's our rainfall forecast that's going to come in. It's going to bring lots and it's going to dump lots and lots of rain for us, but we kind of need that rain. We've always been talking about that drought all this semester, all last semester. So this rainfall is going to be nice, but we're going to see in some areas, like in Louisiana, where you're going to have 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. So that's something that they're going to have to be thinking about, and maybe flooding if that's a concern over the next couple of hours as that storm's still making their way through there. Like we said, this storm's not only bringing rain for the southeast, but it's bringing snow up in portions of the northeastern United States. So they're going to be in winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings as it makes its way through. So the northern part of the storm has snow. I used to live in Arkansas, and I would always beg for there to be snow. So I'm kind of jealous that they have snow now. Maybe they'll get it, maybe they not, but at least they're going to be changing it up a little different. Here's that snowfall forecast. They're going to see close to 1.5 to 2 inches of snow. Like we're going to see 1.5 to 2 inches of rain here. They're going to be seeing snow in parts of the northeast, so that's something that they're going to have to consider. Even with all this severe weather, though, we're not looking at too many airport delays for Atlanta, and then even looking across the country, it's not going to be that bad either. We're not looking at very many delays. Our low temperatures tonight are going to be indicative of that cold front that has moved through. Dallas and Texas, you guys are going to be a little bit lower, brushing that freezing temperature. But for us, we're going to stay kind of hot and muggy here in the southeast until that front moves through. And then there's going to be some more mild air conditioners following the front that moves through. And high temperatures across the board for tomorrow, still looking right on average. We're going to be colder up north, muggier and warmer down in the south. And so we're just going to have to be looking at that as we're making our plans for tomorrow when we have that rain coming through. But milder conditions in the forecast for the end of the week for us here in the southeast and in the north. Temperatures looking right on average, which is really nice. But with severe weather comes lots and lots of wind. And so the desk is going to talk about wind safety because it's something we have to think about as we have these storms coming through.
Yeah, so thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, severe wind is probably one of the main factors of we see storm damage. Isn't that right, Priscilla?
Yeah, of course. And something I was thinking about is that, sometimes you've got a lot of wind, and like when you're driving on the road, that can even shake your car, and that can be very scary to deal with.
It definitely is. I actually experienced that when I was younger, where my car was shaking like crazy. But now let's get to the safety part of this. So
yeah, what exactly are our wind alerts that we should be looking for? We've got our wind advisories, that's sustained winds of 31 to 39 miles per hour, or gusts between 46 to 57 miles per hour. However, high winds are an hour of sustained winds of 40 miles per hour or higher, or gusts of 58 miles or higher.
So let's talk about wind safety now. So before the winds actually start to happen, you can secure loose objects and cut these tree branches to make sure no really damage happens for you, and then seek shelter and be highly cautious if you're driving.
Exactly.
And then be cautious of downed power lines when you're walking around your house, assess the damage, and then use caution when cleaning up the debris outside.
Yeah, downed trees can really take up a lot of space and make things dangerous. But as for these, we got high wind warnings in Louisiana. And so these are mostly due to our very high gusts. We see Mobile up to 55 miles per hour, 55, New Orleans, Jackson 50, Lake Charles 50. So right now their sustained winds aren't looking too high, but those gusts again are very high.
Yeah, so I was just having a question. What was your highest wind you've ever experienced?
I think the highest wind was probably Hurricane Irma. Very strong winds back then, and it was very crazy for me to be in that storm. What about you?
It was probably around 80, but let's ask Chandler, because I'm curious what Chandler's highest wind speeds ever experienced.
My highest wind speeds probably are actually in like the 40s or 50s. It's kind of boring. Well, actually, I take that back. Tropical Storm Fred gave me a little bit higher winds, around 60s. But currently on Landis, we do not have 60 mile per hour winds. We have 6 mile per hour winds out of the east. And 59 is our current temperature, partly cloudy, so pretty beautiful conditions overall. Res is looking about the same with a bit partly cloudy skies, but the sun's peeking through and 63 degrees, so quite enjoyable conditions overall. Tonight in College Town, we can expect a little bit more of the same 54 degrees. However, we're going to expect some showers to creep in the morning. So, of course, we'll have those clouds stick around as well. We also have east-southeast winds at 8 miles per hour. So, again, if you're trying to get out, just make sure you have a little bit of a jacket on because it's going to be a little bit on the cooler side and a little windy. For a home basketball game, we have 63 degrees as our expected temperature today at 7 p.m. at Tucker Center. So, of course, get out there and support our Noles against Miami. For tonight, we can expect pretty poor viewing conditions just because of all those clouds ahead of this cold front. So we're not going to really encourage you guys to go stargazing tonight. You'll have to wait a little bit until that system pushes through. For late night driving, it's quite fine to go ahead and get out there and drive tonight if you're trying to go somewhere. However, of course, keeping in mind that tomorrow morning is not a good time to drive. As for our airport conditions, again, it was already mentioned, but no delays as of now, but we could expect maybe some minor delays going into tomorrow morning with that system sweeping through around 8 to 10 a.m. For the dog walk forecast, again, we're going to get up to about 66, but look at all that rain. You really won't want to walk your dog in the morning. You'll have to ask them to wait until the afternoon, or at least take them out into the backyard real quick before it really gets through around that 9 a.m. Mark. As for Destin, Florida, we have some beautiful conditions as well, but look at that red flag really showing that we have some bad conditions in store for tomorrow. But 60 degrees is pretty beautiful, so of course if you're trying to do a late night walk on the beach, you can do so. But also 66 degrees, that's what we can expect with a high risk of rip currents, 6 to 7 feet of surf. So again, not good conditions for actually going to the beach tomorrow, of course, with that storm sweeping through. 67 degrees as well with thunderstorms here along Legacy Walk. And women's basketball game on Thursday at 8 p.m. That shouldn't have any severe weather, but we will get on the cooler side, 27 degrees and cloudy. For our 4-day outlook, again, we're going to be cooling down quite quickly after the cold front comes through. But for now, we are expecting a lot of storms tomorrow. But we're going to toss things over to Caitlin to talk more about the local weather.
Thank you, Chandler. And if you're watching the sunset right now and also streaming FSU weather, I'm so jealous of you. If I could sit and watch the sky right now, I would. I'm having such a girl moment of being like, the sun is so gorgeous. But it's also 63 degrees outside, which is a wonderful mild temperature to be watching the sunset. And that east breeze is going to feel nice. So if you're on top of one of those parking garages like people tend to do, I wish I was you. We should trade spots. You should become a meteorologist. You should show meteorology anyways. Current temperatures across the board, though, we're looking at some pretty mild temperatures. Upper 50s, lower 60s, and that is going to change as that front moves through, but tonight we're just going to get muggier and muggier as that system comes in and brings in all that moisture from the Gulf. And it's going to just cause a lot of that rain and that wind that we've been talking about all show. So that's something to think about as you're making your plans tomorrow to go to class, because you don't want to do anything that's unnecessary as you're driving to class tomorrow. Radar's clear now, but that is going to change around 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. tomorrow. So don't make any unnecessary Dunkin' and Starbucks runs in the morning. Get to class, wear your rain boots, bring your umbrella. You're not going to want to be stuck in your car, maybe hydroplaning. That's just dangerous. Low temperatures tonight, not much of a change than it is right now. Those clouds are going to keep us pretty warm. We're not going to have those really dips in our low temperatures as we're going into tonight. So as you wake up in the morning, you're not going to need a heavy coat because of the cold, but you will going to want a coat because of the rain. High temperatures are going to be hot and muggy as we're going to be almost touching 70 degrees for Tallahassee tomorrow with those rain showers. That's something to think about as you're making your commute tomorrow. I don't want to stress enough, but like you're going to be experiencing the rain going to class. I have an 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm sure other people have 8 a.m.s, and that's right when the storms are going to come through. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. Here's that future radar showing it going by. It was pretty fast, but just trust me that it's at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So if you're going to wake up early, it's also going to make you not want to get out of bed because doesn't rain make us just want to like sit in and like enjoy the pitter patter? Marine forecast though, I don't recommend going to the beach. It's 69 feet seas, which is absolutely insane, not swimming conditions, and you got wind gusts at 40 knots. If you're trying to take a cute walk with your like significant other on the beach, your hair is going to be blowing everywhere. Not good. Showers and thunderstorms too, which is also making it not as fun to go to Panama City tomorrow. Your hourly forecast for your school day tomorrow, lots of rain. Those showers are going to continue throughout the whole day until maybe 5 p.m. So if you've got night plans, also when your rain chances stop. But throughout your whole school day tomorrow as you're walking around campus, you will be having rain. 7-day, once again, showing that rain. But look at those sunshine skies following that on Thursday and Friday and into your weekend. So make some fun weekend plans. I know that I'm going to. But we're going to pass things over to the desk. Jason and Nico are going to close out our show.
Yeah, so thanks, Caitlin. So I really want to emphasize the safety of this storm because it's going to be some really strong winds tomorrow. Like, what are you going to do to prepare for this storm for tomorrow?
Well, I'm probably going to try to find a good place to get a picture of it as it goes through, but you should definitely not do it as I say. You need to, when you hear the thunder roaring, you need to stay indoors, and if you get a tornado warning, you need to be in the center room of your home on the lowest floor of your home.
Yeah, exactly. We need to be like the most center away from all the windows, be as safe as we can, maybe even just get in the bathtub and just chill there if there's a tornado warning, because that's really important because these storms are so dangerous and anything can happen that's really, really fast.
Yeah, that's true. And when you have a squall line of this strength, even with the straight line winds, if you get a strong enough downburst, you can get tornado-like damage. The only difference is everything's going to blow in the same direction instead of all in different directions.
Oh yeah, but luckily this storm looks like it's going to be going a lot faster, so it won't really affect us too much. Maybe just like 4 or 5 hours after that, we're going to hopefully be seeing some nicer day tomorrow.
Yeah, by tomorrow evening, it should actually be pretty nice. If you have some evening plans tomorrow, you should be good to go out and about tomorrow evening, so that's definitely something to be aware of. You just need to get through the morning and midday part of tomorrow.
I am definitely really excited. Maybe I can go to the beach and see that 40-knot winds, but I don't know about that. My hair will definitely be getting in my face. But follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And you can always like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And then also you can watch us on YouTube. Hopefully you're watching us right now on YouTube.
And you can always follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. You can always send us pictures of anything. If you get any good pictures of a storm tomorrow in a safe place, then you can definitely send that to us. We would love to see that because we always love good pictures of storms.
Yes, and also follow us on TikTok. We've been posting a lot more, but really, let's look at this next 7 days because that's going to be really important for our week. Thanks, guys, for watching.